here's what we're making today. Kia ora e te whānau. Okay, so we're going to start our first page today. I'm just going to try and make sure that I do it in the right order. By now I have uploaded all of these scanned backgrounds, so that you should find the link in the description below. This pack is going to work a little bit differently though. So what I'm going to try and do is, if it's not copyright, I'm going to add things every week to that pack. So when you purchase the pack, we're going to build on that every single week. So there'll be a new folder each week that will have certain things in it. So for example, and I've tried to do as much prep because this one that we're going to do is going to be quite a simple one. I've scanned this beautiful paper, which was a fly paper, and that is in the page 1 folder, and I've just printed some olivey colours that I want to use. That page will be in the scan folder, and each week I'll do the same thing. I'll upload. I've also, even though there's the full digital pack, I've put this into the page 1 folder so that when you want to make it, you'll have everything that you need there, and you won't have to go looking through everything to think, oh, is that the gel background that she used? Or so with that one as well will be in the page 1. So, and as well as that, if I use any ledges or bits and pieces, I'm going to scan those and put them in as well. If I'm going to use photos, I'm going to scan those and put them in, so that if you did want to make one really similar, or even just use some of the things that I've used, hopefully that'll make it easy. So the pack will start off quite small, and it's going to grow and grow and grow, and you'll have access to everything that I put in there. So I hope that makes sense. Put any questions you've got in the comments down below, and I'll try and get back to you on that one. So I thought we would start with an easier one. Also, I need to, so how I bind, I guess that's what you call it, my Ringbounds, is I just make something like this, and I will glue that just onto the edge there. Then I will put eyelets through there. Now, a couple of things. The eyelets, the bigger they are, the better your pages, and the easier your pages will turn through the rings. So don't make them too small. That's a general hole punch size. So I've made them quite large, and I'll use eyelets to fit them. And the measurements that I have used for that, I've just cut a few extra so that I've got them ready to go. I might cover them in fabric for some pages, different papers, ledges, really mix it up so that it actually adds a nice little feature to the page. So they are 2 1/4 inches from left to right in width, and that makes that width 1 1/8 of an inch once you've folded it in half. I put the first hole right in the halfway, obviously, and then this hole I've put 1 inch up, and that will be the same from the top as well. It'll be 1 inch down. So hopefully that helps. I'll just, there you go, so you can screenshot that one if you need to. I doubt you'd need to. It's not going to make much difference if you make them wider, make them slightly thinner. I wouldn't go too much thinner, and you don't want to put the hole too far away, because what happens, I'll just get a ring, and I don't know what size rings we're going to need yet. I've got a variety, so I just get these brass coloured ones. The only place I have found the brass antique coloured ones that aren't silver, which I don't like, is AliExpress. So what we're making sure of is that when you have one page here and you've flipped another page over to the other side, just put that through there and that through there to give you an example, these aren't meeting. Okay, and as it gets further up, obviously as you fill the pages, it gets further apart, but at its smallest point you don't want those to meet, and if you put the holes too far over, they're going to clash when you turn them. Hopefully that makes sense as well. Just a few things that I've learnt after making 2 of them now, and now this one's the 3rd. So like I said, I figured we would start off reasonably easy because these ring bounds, they are quite intense and labour intrusive, but they do come out really, really beautiful. So what I've done here, just to speed things up a little bit, is most of the journal will be A5. This is slightly smaller than A5, and that is only because, you know, hey, we problem solve. When I embossed this, it didn't emboss all the way to the other side, so I just made this one a little bit shorter. Hopefully that makes sense too. All the others will probably be A5, and to make this almost the same page length, I was just going to put some crochet or something maybe on there. Maybe not. I'm not too fussed that I have shorter pages, smaller pages. That's fine. Ignore that. That's nothing. That's because I knew it wasn't going to be seen, so I just put it on there in order to get some ink on there. I have inked all of these in advance around the edges. So what are we going to do here? We are going to put these like this, and we are going to glue obviously 3 sides because I want the pages between to be a pocket. I just put a little bit of that paper there. You're not really going to see it, but when you open up the pocket you are going to see a little bit. Likewise, when you open up the pocket you are going to see a little bit of that inking, and I didn't want it to be really white. I really despise stark white in my journals. You might not be the same, but that's absolutely fine. You don't have to do the inking if you don't want to. Then we will glue these guys. There is another bit that I want to do as well. So at the moment it's just 2 really straightforward pockets. Then we're going to glue and sew that on there. Then we're going to put some trim on the pockets, and I want a belly band up here because I want to put something on it just for an embellishment. It just means that things will slide behind the belly band and then they can sit in the pocket so that they don't go anywhere. Okay, so I will speed up the glue. So when I glue the pockets on, I'm not going to film me gluing it. You'll just see me put it down. Just know that it's got glue on it, and what I usually use is a glue very similar to fabric tack. It's clear, it dries fast. I believe, well, my one, it's because it's got acetone in it, and it never shows through paper or anything. In New Zealand, I've used glue, Gloo, which they've discontinued. They finally brought back Helmer's 450, which is very, very similar, but it is a little bit more expensive, but that's what I'm going to have to be using for now. So in my little glue bottle at the moment, I have Helmer's 450. All right. Okay, so I am going to do a little bit of sewing in this journal. You don't have to. It's not a requirement. I just like the way it looks aesthetically. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to sew down that side there. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to glue those 2 together. Then I'm going to glue this guy on, and I'm going to sew down there. Okay, so I'm just sewing just from that pocket down. I don't mind that there's going to be no sewing there. And now, again, I won't show you the gluing. Okay, so I just want to make a little embellishment. These you can just, I just get them off Temu. And let's pretend that's going to be the belly band. I just thought it would look really cute with a little embellishment up the top there. And I want something probably olive green. So usually I just, this little book, do not ask me. It is in French. So I don't know if I can copy this because I'm not sure of the date. So we could just, you could use any leaf out of any floral book that you've got. I don't think that this part is necessarily important. Might just use that because then I can fussy cut the rest of it when I want to at a later date. I don't use a lot of pink, as you probably know, and that's a very bright pink. Gorgeous, but still very bright. And again, I just use this and it seems to go quite clear when it dries. I did it on a little one on my last journal, so clear enough anyway. But I just thought we'd better do this first because it needs to dry and then we need to cut around it. So I think that'll look quite cute in there. And then I usually just get a clip and maybe a bigger one and just make sure that it's being held to the paper. So I'll just leave that over there for now. Thank you for joining me in this video, by the way. So that can stay over there for now, and all I want to do, I've got some 240 GSM card here, and how big are we going to make this belly band? What's that, 1.5 inches? You can make it whatever size you like. I do, however, want to cover it in a little bit of ledger paper, so I will make sure that that ledger one just like this, which is 1880s French ledger, I'll make sure that there's some of that in the page folder for this week. So I'm just going to cover this, so I will come back shortly. So we're just going to glue the crochet trim onto the belly band and then stick this side on. What we need to do is you need to glue one whole side and then down here. Then I'm going to sew down here. Now our little charm, all I do now is I just cut from the back to try and get that as close. The scissors kind of guide along the glass. So that's why I find this the easiest way to do it. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because you can't see the edges anyway, so that should fit in there nicely like that. So I'll just add some glue because the glue should stick the paper into there quite nicely. If I was wearing this pendant and it was getting a lot of use, I would probably use a stronger glue, maybe a just trim that a little bit, maybe a 2-part mixing glue that sets nice and hard, And once again, I'll just clip that for a while. Just hold that glue steady, and I'll be back shortly. Okay, so while you're away, I was just obviously having a little play, and I thought it could look quite cute to have a little tuck spot in behind here. So I think, and I've just swapped this one out for a thinner lace if I'm going to have a tuck spot there. So yeah, I will stamp one of those for you and put in the pack, just in case you want to use that as well. I was playing around with all sorts of buttons. That one looks quite cool there. So I will probably should be able to just stick it. This ledger is quite a significant weight of paper, so I might just, it'll just be a little tag or an envelope or something that I'll put there. So we'll put this little piece behind here. Just a little corner cluster. This is why I find these Come Make a Journal with me so difficult, because I'm always changing my mind. I was wondering, wow, do I make this little thing into a tag? And is this what goes behind the cluster? But I think I like it where it is better. Just here, just have to wipe a little bit of that glue off. There we go, and I'll just chop that slightly that way so that can fit in behind there without interfering with me gluing it down. There we go. Glue this on. Just sticking on the little button, I just like to put a little piece of paper on the back of the button and sew through that. It makes it easier for the glue to stick paper to paper rather than the plastic button to the paper. So I've just used the offcut from there, and I've just made it into a quick tag. So I'll just fast forward this bit because I'm not going to teach you how to make tags. So there you go, there's our first page Obviously we'll make some things, little bits and pieces to put in the pockets because it's quite a basic page, it's just pockets. I'll make some embellishments. I won't just put ephemera into these pockets, and then we will have to do that side at some stage as well. There is where I will put a whole heap of awesome ephemera. Yeah, well, I hope you enjoyed it. I know this one isn't anything too special or too flash, but if you're following me to make one, I guess it's because you want to make one similar to my style, and we need to have some pages like this in our journal. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you give it a go. I hope if you're not following along with the whole thing that just some bits and pieces really helped you. And until next time, part 3, I'll see you then. Mā te wā.